There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait, don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dahna already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still... Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Dahnan rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dahna, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnigan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnigan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnigan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty, instead I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Dahnans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Did we really just spend that much money?
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well, so much for them not wanting to fight.
Ho! I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menencia. I command you.
Threats to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they've got one. Try harder!
Take this!
This one's mine!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! No kill! Anything in armor is all mine!
Not on my watch!
Glacial Spear!
Dragon Swarm! Ignite! Dragon Swarm! Piercing Roar!
I can do this all day! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more! No! Dragon Swarm!
Spear! Pierce evil!
We're not finished!
Free Blizzard!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Now! Take this!
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Little help!
Dragon Swarm!
Shield and make!
Try harder!
Tempest
Dragon
Swirl!
Swarm!
These ones can run rings around us!
Dragon Swarm!
Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! You're mine!
Far beyond the darkest
Dragon
sky!
Swarm!
I call upon thee! Burning
Dragon Swarm!
Take this!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the tumbling to me!
Lightning instant!
Dragon Swarm! Take this! Dragon Swarm! Do you require a hand?
Sleep now.
This one's mine! I'm not done! You're finished!
Blizzard blow! Make it
Raging Fury! Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons. Out of my way!
Glacials, I never miss! Only land! Between heaven and earth!
Time to cross blade!
Whoa!
Azure Storm! This time!
Healing circle!
I owe you one.
Swallow blade! Coming through! Ha! No! Scarlet Inferno! Take this! Eat dirt! That's it! Dragon Form!
Dance in the wind! Like astral...
Piercing roar!
Looking fury!
Far beyond the darkest power of water!
Dragon Swarm!
By the power of flame!
Dragon Swarm!
Air thrust! Eat dirt! Blah, blah, blah! Holy land! You get this! Burning strike!
Here I come!
Freeze laser!
How about this? This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Good! Leave it to you!
Back into the flame!
Dragon Swarm!
In here! Lunar corruption!
Piercing
The flame inside is built to be let free!
Annihilation!
Dragon Swarm!
Here! Inferno!
This one's mine!
Winds of heaven! Annihilation! Sleep now! Hurricane! Fading Thunder field!
Try harder! Dragon Swarm!
Aqueous surge! Healing circle!
Dragon Swarm! Swallow blade!
Gusty nail!
Time to shine!
Stardust!
Take them dead! By the flame of meteor! Annihilation! Increasing orb!
I'll burn it all! Flaming pillar! Fire!
Firmament rent!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Don't push yourself too hard.
I won't forgive you!
In a bind?
Crystals are mine!
Bombardment! Hurricane strike!
You think that shield will save you?
Like shield!
I call upon thee! I never miss!
Dragon Swarm! Dragon Swarm!
Glacial heart! Too much handle the wall! A whirling struggle!
Dragon Swarm!
Winds of heaven! First force! Dance in the wind! I'm only getting air!
Make it right!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Not a chance!
It's go time!
Make it right!
River!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Lightning!
Now! Too back!
Fantastic. I'll trip it up.
Dragon Swarm!
Now! Inferno! This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ash.
Guardian
Not a
of
chance!
Sky!
Dragon
I
Swarm!
call upon thee! Now!
River!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
I need to be stronger.
I won't forgive you!
You got
I'll smash you! Huh? Burn! Dragon Swarm! I won't show you any mercy!
Now you learn!
Dragon Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ash.
You're mine!
Hurricane strike! Lunar corruption!
You require a hand.
Annihilation!
Take this.
Dragon Swarm!
Going in! Burning strike! Raging storm! Do it!
Kisara. All yours, Kisara.
Here I come! Dragon
Astral
Swarm!
energy! Lunar corruption! Thunder field of water!
Explosive rain!
Searing flame! Reload!
I'm not done!
Lightning!
I'm not done!
Go, Halim!
All yours, Kisara.
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Little help!
Pieces!
Steering
No one ever-
reload!
Piercing
Fury! Burning strike! I still have on the enemy!
Dragon Sword! Piercing water! Swallow blade!
Hurricane Flurry! Lightning Cascade! Will this help?
Razor Storm!
Magic is there!
Roach's Fury!
Healing Breeze Lancer!
Coming
Need
through!
to pull myself together.
Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Mega Ray! Annihilation! Mega Ray!
Plasma Shock!
Ice Dolphin! Razor Cyclone!
Plasma Shock!
Flaming Meteor! Ice Prison!
Stardust!
Radiant Kill!
Plasma Shock!
Mega Ray! Tunnel! Healing Flame! Lunar Arc! Radiant Kill!
Dragon Swarm! Plasma Shock!
I'll stop its charge!
Come on!
Thanks, Kisara!
Denied!
All mine!
Hurricane
Plasma
Flight!
Shock!
Lightning Raging
Stardust!
Hurricane Flight!
Razor Storm!
First Aid! Blizzard Blow! Air Thrust!
You picked the wrong fight!
Piercing
Plasma Shock!
Air Thrust!
Stardust!
Flaming Meteor! Cyclone! Logan!
Switch to offense!
Plasma Shock!
Look sharp! It's the assist!
Carve now through all! A chain between heaven and earth! Away into the shadow! Lightning! Divine State!
Plasma Shock!
Will this help? Winds of heaven! Feel! Healing circle! I'll be saving this one!
Plasma Shock!
Now steering flame!
Plasma Shock!
Let me help!
Look sharp!
First aid! Perfect move! Divine savior! I will not magic! Watson cyclone!
You do
Plasma
it!
Shock!
Law! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Don't push yourself too hard.
Out of our way!
No further! Dragon Swarm! Ignite!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf!
Dragon Swarm!
Power of flame! Vander Cloud of Trace! Flaming Meteor!
Dragon Swarm!
Explode! I'm ready!
I'm nearly done for.
Glacial Spear!
Soaring
Here's
Light
evil!
Spear!
Freeze Lancer!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'll heal
Not a
you all!
chance!
Piercing roar! I never miss! Deep circle!
It's over! It's time!
Here, let me help you!
Dragon Swarm! This one's all mine!
First aid!
Dragon Swarm!
Lightning strike! Far beyond annihilation!
Swallow Blade! Burn in hell!
Hurricane Flight!
Dragon Swarm!
A whirling none shall escape my judgment! Winds of heaven!
Dragon
First
Swarm!
force! Cyclone! Hurricane! Blah, 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 magic! Air thrust!
Try harder!
By the
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Do you require a hand?
Now! Shield! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Now!
Steering
Dragon
flame!
Swarm!
Reload! Thunder field! Now! Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! I feel sprightlier than before.
Bring him down!
Can't get out of bed!
This one's your dreams.
Fire in the hole!
Raging storm!
Watch for their rings to pass.
Engaging!
Let the marksman handle this.
Ignite! Dragon form!
Radiant strike! Now! Frozen!
Hammer!
Not a chance!
I can carve through armor!
Raging storm!
The flaming fire! You're let free! Dragon
Take this!
You picked the wrong fight! Now! While it's reeling!
All yours, Kisara!
My turn! I'm not done!
In a vine?
Release! Ruin gate!
Piercing roar!
Divine streak!
Dragon form!
Make it rain!
Lock! Get toasty!
Burn strike! Not a chance!
Carve now!
Hurricane storm! Hurricane report!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
Hold on, Lord! You picked the wrong fight!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
I can read your moves like a book! I can carve through armor! Take this!
How about this?
Fire in the dragon form!
Flaming meteor!
I owe you one.
Inferno cannon!
It's almost too strong.
Split it open! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Molotov!
You're mine!
Dreams!
Not today! Dragon form!
I call upon thee! This one's mine!
Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Now! Take this!
Here, let me help. I can do this.
Ah!
Going in!
I owe you one.
Between heaven and earth. Energy of lightning!
Flying light spear! Dagger storm!
Will this help?
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Not a chance!
Going in!
In a vine?
We're not finished! Dragon
Do it! Kisara, frozen!
Hammer!
With this, I can become even stronger.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for, let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dahna. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Dahnan astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dahna's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden. That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dahna from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too, if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dahna or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.